Hold on to your love of 90s TV, because we're about to time travel. Once upon a time in the age of busy patterns, dial-up modems, and the real Running Man, television was black.
Now this is a story all about how
Like, very black.
What is truly American is black culture to a large degree. Flip on the television set.
What's my theme music?
It's a rare condition.
I think the 90s was definitely a golden age of black television.
And that's how so many people see the 1990s, but is that really true, or is nostalgia just clouding our recollection?
So everybody kind of looks on the golden age in terms of when they were young.
Hey fam, I'm Imayan, this is AJ Plus, and this Sunday we're exploring why so many think the 90s was the golden age of black sitcoms, why there aren't more black sitcoms on TV today, and if there's any chance they'll come back, because I might want a cameo. There was a time when the sitcom was dead to television executives, like, rest in peace dead. They were wooed by TV shows like MASH, Dallas, Dynasty, and Magnum PI. Dramas dominated the ratings in the early 80s. And then something unexpected happened.
Once that showed how popular sitcoms could be, they came back with a vengeance.
That's former network executive and TV historian Tim Brooks. He says the birth of what some see as a black sitcom boom actually begins in the 1980s with The Cosby Show. It had some of the highest ratings ever recorded for a sitcom. It finished third in the ratings in its first year and first the next 4 seasons.
And if you don't get it together and drop these macho attitudes, you are never gonna have anybody bringing you anything, anywhere, any place, anytime, ever.
So you had a period from about 84 until the early 90s where black sitcoms were very prevalent and big hits on network television. And what happened in the 90s was that the black sitcoms had all followed in the wake of The Cosby Show.
I'm an expert when it comes to a lot more.
Family Matters, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and A Different World are just a few of the hit shows networks turned out after the success of The Cosby Show. So if you were one of those people who did the Urkel, you can sort of blame Bill Cosby. When NBC debuted The Cosby Show in 1984, it basically rescued the Peacock from a dismal third-place position. Then in 1986, a new network joined the media landscape dominated by NBC, ABC, and CBS. This was the birth of Fox.
Starting on April 5th, you view Sundays in a whole new light.
Fox finally decided to take a cue from the success of black sitcoms on the Big Three by creating programming geared toward a young African American and Latino market. In 1991, it already had the black sketch show In Living Color, and it added the sitcom Rock. The next few years brought even more black sitcoms to the network. By the mid-90s, Fox was airing a bunch of black sitcoms. That is until, whoop, there it wasn't.
In 1994, the majority of black produced shows were canceled in one fell swoop. The Fox network that aired the majority of black owned shows canceled them because Fox was then in a position to support white audiences.
According to Zook, the success of Fox built it up, and then the network began seeking young white male viewership. Did they do that? Why would they? Well, a strange thing was happening in the 90s. Audience viewing habits were changing. Black and white audiences had had similar viewing habits in the 1980s, and then in the 90s we see a distinct split. The top TV shows in white households weren't the same as the most watched in black homes. For example, Seinfeld was the top-rated show in white homes in 1997, but only ranked 50th in black households. And a sitcom called Between Brothers was #1 in black homes, but 112th among whites. And the difference between the viewerships was made clearer as other networks also made room for different programming. The Cosby Show ended in 1992. Its spin-off A Different World, which eventually surpassed it in the ratings after 3 years, was canceled in '93. That same year, NBC launched a new campaign.
Must-see TV becomes NBC's Star-Crossed Thursday.
And then they kind of faded in this wave of must-see TV, Thursday night, NBC, young white singles in the city kind of thing, like Friends.
It kind of sounds like you're saying gentrification pushed black sitcoms off of television.
Yeah, in a sense, that's true.
And just like with neighborhood gentrification, this type of programming was pushed to a new area. Enter the WB and UPN. Years before they merged to become the CW, the networks used Fox's same blueprint to gain a foothold and become the 5th and 6th networks. They even had executives from Fox, and like Fox, they too ended up reshaping the audience after gaining success. And as we came to the end of the road in the 90s and bounced into the aughts, aka the 2000s, black sitcoms faced even more strain because the genre was going out of style. We began binging on reality TV.
If all of sitcoms were in the cold, and black sitcoms, of course, is a subset of that, without any Cosby Show to spark a new wave, we're out in the cold too.
And is it possible black sitcoms were frozen because the sitcom genre was no longer a good vehicle to tell black stories? Writer Kyle Hiller says we need to be very careful about fawning over the 90s black sitcom era.
Just the narratives themselves weren't really diving as deeply as they could, and I think that might have something to do with the fact that things did fall off into the 2000s, and the way that sitcoms are today in general, they are much more dramatic and they're much more filmic and they have stronger themes and things like that.
Hiller says 90s sitcoms didn't do a good job of digging into the black American experience and often relied on tropes, stereotypes, and slapstick humor without delving into why it made fun of certain things. But there's at least one 90s episode he says bucked the formula and became a memorable moment, when Will Smith had to handle his father walking out on him. Go ahead and get your tissues ready.
I learned how to drive, I learned how to shave, I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him!
I remember that being one of the first times that I watched television, and it really struck a chord with me in a way that I could really, really relate to. I hadn't seen anything like that in television.
How come you don't want me, man?
That scene may be a precursor to something that's become a staple in our media diet, the ability to merge humor and drama in one TV show. And Brooks says that's another thing that helped end the reign of black sitcoms.
Desperate Housewives, shows like that were almost like 1-hour sitcoms. So that filled the need that viewers had for comedy, and that kind of left the traditional sitcom out in the cold.
Is she gonna be okay? Yeah, sure. Hold on a second.
This decade brought shows that used the same mixture of comedy and drama, but with more inclusive casting. Think Orange is the New Black or Atlanta.
What's up, guys? I'm Zen.
Yeah, I don't know you.
You want a hat, paper boy?
And there's one other thing that's had a major impact on the number of black sitcoms on network TV. And you're looking at it right now, the internet. Digital networks like Netflix are distributing and producing funny shows with black faces. And sometimes they even have the old 90s favorites available to stream. So yes, ABC currently is airing the hit show Blackish.
Before you know it, we're gonna be a country full of YouTubing selfie takers, living in houses full of because nobody knows how to fix a damn toilet.
But it's one of only a few black sitcoms slated on the fall 2017 network television schedule. And guess when one of them airs? Tuesday nights, after Blackish. And that's very interesting because 79% of the audience that watches Blackish isn't black, according to Nielsen. The audience for black shows is expansive, according to Brooks, and Nielsen's ratings agree. Storylines with a strong black character or identity are crossing cultural boundaries to grab diverse audiences and start conversations, according to Nielsen. But with Netflix showing a slew of black stand-up specials while creating original shows like Dear White People, viewers can get their fix online. So with our changing entertainment palette, all this competition, and how much the sitcom has evolved, will we ever see a black sitcom boom like we did in the 1990s? It's so much closer than you think.
In a sense, we are one hit away, I think, from a revival. There's nothing inherent in the black sitcom genre that keeps it off of television today. It's just they need an example of doing it right.
Now this is a story all about how I did this video just for you, and I want to take a minute just to sit right here to see you like, share, subscribe, and comment right there.